So, to start off this week, we're actually going to be taking a look at, well, for the entire week, almost, the Bad Batch series members, minus Echo, kind of, because I already reviewed Echo. And so we're back for Batch Week number 2. Yes, this is Tech. Why are we taking a look at Tech next? I don't know. I'm just kind of going in a random order here. But Tech is probably my least favorite, if I'm being honest, of the batch thus far. At least of the Season 1 figures, because these are Season 1 figures, not Season 2. I didn't mention that in the Hunter review. Anyway, there's the box. You can see the picture, words, and that's about Tech. Tech here is a intriguing guy. He is the smart one. He is overly smart. That is his mutation comparatively to the other clones of Task Force, Clone Force 99, or the Bad Batch. That's his variation. That's it. He's just a smart guy. Of course he got his combat training, though. Why wouldn't he? As far as the design goes, he's the most widely different from the rest of the Bad Batch. His color scheme is completely off. We're just going to put in two other random ones because I have them off to the side. You could see the gray is completely different. The rest of them have this nice dark charcoal-ish gray, almost close to a black kind of gray. It's very dark. But Tech, for some reason, this is a show thing as well, has light gray armor. He doesn't have the dark gray armor, which is intriguing. I don't know if that ever got explained, but he's the only one with a different coloration of the bunch. And as far as his design goes, yeah, he looks pretty solid. I mean, he looks like Tech. There's nothing wrong. Tech probably has the most busy design going on of the bunch. There's a lot going on with Tech, if I'm being honest. Even looking at the arms here, you could tell they're a little different. His right one is a little thin, while the other one has like a little thingy on it. Chest piece is similar to Hunter, but not exact. It's actually rubbery as well. Though that means his backpack is also on a rubbery thing, which falls out pretty easy. His legs are kind of generic, actually, just having pants, no thigh armor, and then knee pads, and then boots. That's it. Honestly, though, not very armored up, are we, Tech? He's, again, the science guy. He's the smart guy. He's the fix-it guy. He's just that guy. As far as he goes, the backpack's nice. He has the antennas, which apparently are removable. At least on the second version of this guy. They come in a severed package. And he does have a couple of accessories. First foremost, DC-17, because again, why not? Nowhere to store it, though. Oh. Oh, boy. The best you can do is just kind of slot it in one of the straps, honestly. I watched the introduction of the Bad Batch, that arc from Clone Wars Season 7, semi-recently, and Tech just kind of puts them away. Like, he just takes his pistol and puts it in his back, and then it's gone. There's no slots on the backpack, no nothing. It's like he just puts it there. I don't know, he also has two, which I think would have been cooler if they had included two, but they're kind of missing another key thing, which I'll get to. He then has these three little tools on his belt. Yes, they're all removable. They come out of him on the box. They're not severed items out of the box. But they are all severed parts and are removable. As we can see here. I'm just going to remove this one because this is the least scary of the bunch to lose. You can hold these little tongs pretty well. Maybe they're like a cutter of some kind and cut some wires with them. I don't know. He then has a little ball-peen looking hammer. And then he has what I would assume is like a solder, maybe, or like a screwdriver of some kind. That one has a little peg on it, so it doesn't fall right through, because it's essentially just a stick. It's nice that they decided to include that, but there's one accessory he's really missing. Two, actually. One of which is a data pad. He always had a data pad. They didn't give him one. They had this pouch here. They could have easily made that open and put a data pad in there. I'm just going to say it. They could have done it. They easily could have done it. I wouldn't have cared. Put it on the hip. I don't care. They could have given him a data pad. It's just a missing accessory for him. He really did need that. I'm tempted just to steal the one that comes with Bix and give it to him because, quite frankly, it's just kind of a missing thing. He just always had it. The other thing he's missing is his goggles, which you're probably saying, oh, well, they're in his helmet. Oh, God. Yeah, they didn't give him his goggles in this release. The second release, however, the Season 2-3 armor, they did for them. Yeah, they gave the goggles, but in return, the helmet was very hard to get on, which might have been why they didn't give him the goggles to begin with, but they could have made them a separate accessory. Just give us a second, like, helmet-type piece that goes over his head like his goggles, because he looks completely wrong without them. He looks like a nerdy guy. That's it. I mean, he is a nerdy guy. But he looks like a nerdy, weird Temuera Morrison, because, of course, he's a clone. Again, he's one of the ones that looks a little less like Temuera Morrison, but I can see it. I can see it in there. I can see that bit of Temuera Morrison in the face. It's a bit more skinny looking. Of course, got like the crow's peaks going. He's just a nerd. Again, really missing them goggles, though, because he doesn't not have the goggles on at any point in the show. And then with the helmet, they're just solid. If they were translucent, it would have been 10 times better. I just have to say that right now. Which, again, Season 2 release fixes it, but I don't like that armor compared to the original. And then we have the little extra visor here, which is warped on mine. It's just a little bit. It's a little crooked. Folds down. Again, could have used with being translucent, but that's okay. But yeah, you do that and have that little look to him. It's completely fine. Just put that helmet on and it's not really an issue. Without the helmet, though, it kind of sucks, honestly, that they just didn't give him his goggles. I know there's third parties out there that make them, but it's just kind of a shame Hasbro didn't. I mean, essentially, that's it for his accessories, so let's just get to the articulation, which is, again, all right. He does have a nice ball joint in the head and neck, forward and back, outward, elbow, swivel, rotation at the hand. He does have in and out, and then on the other side, up and down, of course. I didn't note this. He doesn't actually have any reuse. At least Tech doesn't. Tech has none. The Crosshair, Echo, and Hunter all have a lot of clone reuse. This guy has 0. As far as I'm concerned, he does have a relatively alright waist. It's kind of tight. But his chest piece, as I mentioned, is very rubbery. It's very pliable. So he does actually have a good bit of motion in there. Forward and back, even with the belt, nothing too bad. Outward, knee joint. Again, not double jointed. Forward, back. Tilt in and out. And honestly, pretty good articulation, honestly. Maybe a little bit better. He's not as restrictive because he doesn't have the bulky hip armor, but I kind of miss the bulky hip armor. It kind of ties the clone into him. But other than that, he just looks like a random bounty hunter guy. I could see that, though. They all look like random bounty hunter guys, really. And that is essentially Tech. So what are my final thoughts here with Tech? I think Tech is really, really cool, but again, that head thing is kind of a problem. The whole helmet aspect ruins it to me, because he needs goggles. Like I said, they could have included a severed part, they could have did something, because he ultimately doesn't come with a lot. A lot of the other Bad Batch members come with a lot of stuff. He comes with the least amount, easily. And I do mean easily. These little tiny things down here, they shouldn't really count that heavily, I don't think. They're only little tiny parts. They give him 1 DC-17. They could have included a data pad, or they could have included goggles. They really could have. It's just something I feel like they needed to do. Like, it just looks weird sometimes. And again, the full non-translucent eyes are a little odd, too. Doesn't look bad in images or anything. Maybe it's like a glare on the goggles or something. I don't know. It's just he doesn't really live up to the rest of them, thus making him the worst of the main batch, in my opinion. I mean, he's fine, but, I mean, the other one's clearly better, and I hate that, because, like I said, I don't like the colors of that one. Even though orange is my favorite color, gray and red is a pretty strong combo for colors being put together, and yeah, he does it really well, honestly. Like, he's cool, he's good, but he's just not as good as the rest of the batch, thus making him the worst one, in my opinion. Well, second worst. I think Omega's the worst, but that's besides the point. We'll get to her eventually. Anyway, this has been my review of Black Series Tech. This has been IlTile Delete signing out.